That's true. You have to meet the. Yeah, there you
Hello?
go. You meet the stream.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Nice to meet all of you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Nice to meet you.
We're all here in the closet together.
In a closet. Perfect.
Yeah, in the closet.
Man. Yeah, sorry, I was having a meeting with my game jam team because we're trying to resolve GitHub issues. I'm going to switch gears now, so
That's tough. I hope that works out for you.
yeah, GitHub terrifies me. Okay.
I don't even know how to use GitHub, honestly. Definitely Brevelo helped me use it the entire time.
Man.
What's Carlton feel like?
We can just start introducing and just kind of start. I don't know when he's gonna join, so
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like how should I refer to you all?
Sorry, I didn't hear the question.
How should they refer to us? So
are
should
we
we go
just
like
using
a
our actual name?
Yeah, I'm gonna go by Atlas.
Yeah,
I'm just using my real name. Oh, you're using Discord.
I'll just go in a circle. I'm Oliver. I was the team lead and lead programmer.
Okay.
I'm Atlas. Oh, hey, there's.
Nice.
We're introducing.
I was in the bathroom.
Oh, we'll talk. We're introducing ourselves. We're in the wing right now. Anyway, yeah, I'm Atlas. I did all the music and sound design, and also some of the animations for the main character. I did all the animations for the main character.
Okay.
I'm Lance. I did all the art and level design for the game.
Not all the level design.
Well, yeah, no.
I
Come on, man. Okay, yeah. I did a pretty big chunk of the promotional art, the environment art, and then I did about like half of the level design for the project. So
Hell yeah, brother.
yeah.
Good job.
Okay.
Ready?
Well, I'm Geri, and I did all of the, well, at least most of the particles that you see in the game.
Okay. Awesome.
9% of them.
You did like one. I did the player.
He did
player
that.
part, the desk on the player.
And then
And then Carson, you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Carson. I worked on the other half of the levels. I did the menu art and just a bunch of little stuff here and there, the menu art assets and stuff like that.
Okay. Awesome. Pretty stacked team there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can turn up my mic input too if you need that.
I think we're probably
Mine's
good.
already maxed out on everything, so I'm sorry.
I think you're good.
Try to see there.
Yeah, I have
I'm just a wind.
I'm gonna get my trombone out by car.
Acoustic drum set? Yes or no?
awesome. Well, I certainly don't recognize you all by your voices, so I guess just keep that in mind. I don't know how to mitigate that, but
That's
I got that.
We'll try to say our name before we say anything.
Or we could just be the entity. Like we could
Hey,
right.
A big jumble of people in one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
we kind of I don't know about I think we've kind of had a little bit of a philosophy that it's kind of like we all did our own things, but I don't necessarily feel like, I guess I personally don't feel super strong ownership over the things that I did. Like I kind of feel like it was like a team effort, so it's like kind of I feel like we can all to some part like take part or like responsibility for like the end product that we created. So it's like
For sure.
Yeah, it's a team effort.
Yeah. I don't feel super like, oh, it's one person that did this one thing, and it's like, oh, they have prime ownership over like everything that like their ideas and everything. It's kind of
Have I spelled everyone's name right, by the by
Oh, here, I'll make it bigger on our screen.
Yeah, Atlas.
I
Atlas
don't
is
even have the stream
Atlas is
open. I don't know how to look.
Yes, it looks. Or is Gary spelled right?
Technically it's Geri, but Gary is fine.
Geri. I mean, I'll do that.
Thanks.
It's your name, dude. I'm not gonna. There you are. All right, cool. Well, you got 5 people. It sounds like you all have a good rapport with each other. So I guess, like, how did you get your team together? Like, how did you get started on this project?
Yeah, sure. I saw the Big Mode Jam. I'm a fan of Video Game Donkey, and I heard they were doing the jam. And initially, I asked Atlas and Carson. I wanted to work with them, and then
I brought on Lance because Lance wanted to help.
Lance was interested. You were
so
Lance self-invited.
Yeah, he
first,
self-invited.
So first we say that like we're all students and like
Yeah.
explain that kind of
we're all besides Carson, sort of, we're all students at DigiPen Institute of Technology. It's like
in Redmond, Washington.
yeah, it's like a
Okay.
video game focused tech school. It's pretty cool.
Mhm.
And we're all bachelors of arts of game design.
Yeah,
Yep, we're all doing game
Yeah.
design.
Cool. So there's a program for it there.
Yeah.
they focus on different parts of game development.
I will say we're all freshmen besides Carson though. Carson, yeah.
I'm
so-
a junior in high school.
Yeah.
I don't go to my high school.
We abducted one stray high schooler for the project. So.
Ah, damn.
It's so good.
Got a
Yeah,
van one day, picked him up off the street.
That's not a van.
Yes, you're on this project now. You deal with it.
Yeah, I was friends with Carson, and DigiPen has a high school program, so I met Carson there, and so I brought him on too. And then
Continue.
yeah, and then so Lance kind of like saw what we were doing and wanted to hop in, and then he showed us his art.
I pretty much was like, oh, that's a really cool project you guys are doing. Do you guys want an artist? I can do art. And then I just followed
At the
them.
time, I was the only artist. I was doing all the main character art and everything like that.
I just followed them around, kept on like giving ideas until like they kind of just assumed that I was on the team. So like there really wasn't a proper like, oh, do you want to do this? I kind of just weaseled my way on.
And hey, get in.
Worked out really well.
Yeah.
And then Gabriel offered to do like VFX and stuff and play testing, so I got him after that.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean Gary, sorry.
I mean, yeah, but however you're like, but awesome. All right. Yeah, sounds good. So, fans of Video Game Donkey, and then you just kind of like, you just kind of rolled into each other. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So we. Let me read the description here. So, how does your game represent mode? You play as an elderly maid with overwhelmingly powerful vacuum that has two modes, suck and blow, also known as push and pull. Okay, cool. And then here you have the main page. Play as Gertrude Gummers, an elderly cleaning lady hired to clean a mysterious mansion by an unknown source. She doesn't care, she just needs the money. Use a custom-made battery-powered vacuum with two modes, push and pull, to escape this decrepit and cultist dungeon. Will she make it out? Probably. So, a lot of us had trouble with mode. It's just like, what do I even do with this? So,
Yeah.
So, like, what was your idea process with coming up with your idea for this?
Should we talk
Our
about
idea process is named Atlas.
Hey guys.
So, I mean, I have a pretty good memory of the events. If you want me to say it, or you can go, Atlas.
Should we talk about like some of our ideas that we had first?
Well,
or...
hold
That's
on.
what I was gonna dive into. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you can
Just
go
however
ahead.
you like.
Because one of the things we were debating right off the bat was a gun game with modes. Remember that? It was like it was like 2 hours. It was like our first like somewhat decent idea before Atlas mentioned the maid with a what is it?
But it started.
Eldritch Slug.
Yeah, so it started. So it was gonna be like you're gonna swap between cleaning mode, which was you'd have to like clean up like in a 3D sort of way, like clean up the house,
Mhm.
and a slug was gonna follow you the whole time, the slug slowly follows you.
Yeah, that kills you if you touch it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so then Oliver has experience making like crazy 3D movement shooters. Like that's all that he does. If you check out Brevolo on itch.io,
Nothing there yet, but
there's
there's like one sort of thing.
Dude, it's
off track.
okay.
Yeah.
He's anyway, but
Mm.
and so that's why it was going to be 3D, and then we were going to swap to like making him a dessert a la mode,
Of course.
and just make him like a pie with ice cream in the kitchen or something like that, and that was going to be the 2 mode swap. So
I'm so happy we ended up not
because
going
there's
with
so
that.
many a la mode things out.
Yeah.
It was really like kind of a pretty like not to say that like we couldn't have made something fun or interesting from that idea, but just kind of like it I think it kind of helps to like make something that's unique and like stands out.
Yeah.
And I think like I know that I definitely feel better working on a project if I know that it's like more of a unique or interesting idea than
Yeah, of course. I mean, originality is a category that you rated on this.
that too.
And
I honestly expected to see so many vacuum games. Like,
Really?
I expected to be going into this like, well, that's a really simple thing to look at. Like, well, if it does this thing, what if we just add another thing on top of it so it sucks and then blows as well? Like, I expected to see so many like objects that could do one thing really well, and then go, what if we made it do the opposite too? But I guess that's just me being stupid.
I don't know.
I think
Yeah, like I expected a lot of things that had to do with like status effects or like transforming robots or something, but there's like practically none of them, except for like one of my friends who did Ultra Wolf Fighter X.
So many games that were like mini games. It
Yeah,
was
I mean
interesting.
it's a game jam, right? So
Yeah,
that's not
that makes
that's-
sense.
Yeah.
Oliver was really big is really big on Celeste, and so that was definitely a big like influence in like for the precision platformer and stuff. I wanted to go more Fadian, more like kind of like intentionally annoying and difficult. But for a game jam, just because the other thing was, this is supposedly going to be played by, Donkey and his crew.
Hopefully.
And so if we're
Right,
playing
right.
on stream, there's the whole, like, is the game good? But there's also the aspect of, like, is it funny? Is it going to be memorable? Is it going to get a laugh? And that's kind of where it's like a sucking and blowing granny came into it.
Oh no.
That's
oh yeah.
A little bit of a side, like kind of like that's kind of where it started, but like kind of we didn't end up like we could have made like a bunch of like awful innuendos and kind of like
But we didn't.
We did
not
and
do any of it.
that was a very like kind of deliberate like team decision of like, okay, like do we want the entire game to be kind of propped up on this like kind of a little cheaper like I guess gross humor, like is this something that like I want to show to like my parents or like my grandma or something.
Right.
And I think we kind of decided it was like, oh, that's not really like a good trade-off. Like that's not something we really want to be part of it.
That was also one of the reasons why we made it a grandma and not just like an average aged woman or something like that.
Mhm.
Well,
It makes it
yeah.
way harder.
yeah.
I was also gonna say that. Sorry. For like because since we're all going to university, it was, the other thing, not just to show our parents. I know that was a big thing. Was like, oh, I want to show my mom this game. Oh, I want to show my parents this game. But it was also like, if I want to put this in my resume,
Oh,
I
right.
probably just have like a bajillion phallic jokes.
Yeah.
I don't know. It probably
Future-
just doesn't.
future employer,
okay. Right.
Yeah, probably for that one.
Yeah.
It's the safer option. Keep it
Microsoft.
classy.
Yeah.
But also just like the
Look at this.
there's a lot of whimsy. There's not a lot of characters in platformers that are just like elderly characters. So it's a pretty interesting juxtaposition as well. A lot of the developers that I've talked to specifically cited Celeste as an inspiration specifically for their game. A lot of Spike platformers here, but a lot of people actually recommended me your game. So
Nice. Let's go.
yeah.
Cool.
I'm sorry.
were-
I think I cut somebody off. Was somebody saying something?
I was gonna say, also with the granny, this came about later, kind of as we realized, but it kind of gives an interesting mechanical thing for granny to be like, we can make her pretty underpowered.
Right.
Yeah, like slow.
Like she's not super fast, she doesn't jump very high, which is kind of interesting for a platformer. And then obviously her
Oh.
abilities compensate. So
It's
that kind of emerged later.
It was kind of the idea that we wanted to put a lot more emphasis on the actual like
Sucking and blowing.
like her vacuum and her abilities, and not so much like we didn't want players to gravitate more towards using their just kind of like default like movement abilities, like just their walking and jumping and like
Mhm.
like we really wanted to the vacuum to be like the big highlight of the game in that movement. So we wanted to try and make like
Right.
like-
You wanted it to I mean, focus on the thing that made it unique, right?
yeah, and like not yeah, and we did that through kind of just making the movement like not slow exactly, but not making it feel exactly super fast or like super elevated either. Like we kind of wanted to just kind of be a default thing that like and to put it in a sense. I don't.
Awesome. I mean, I'm excited because listen, I've played a lot of games here. I have like 50 VODs or something where I'm talking with developers about their games, and man, I've played some really brutal precision platformers. Probably some of the most brutal ones that exist at this jam, and I made sure to beat them. So I'm looking forward to a more I guess methodical approach, but I'm sure you have some pretty intense interactions here as well, though. With the I can see it. I can see what I'm in for. But
Be pretty happy to see like a lot of comments from people saying they beat the game, which
Yeah,
Okay, quote unquote beat it. There's
Yeah, quote unquote.
in the final.
Well,
Okay.
we'll get there. Yeah.
I guess should we give the caveat first that there's kind of like, because I feel like going into that we should probably like maybe, or are we?
I don't
gonna-
know. It's
okay.
whatever. I think we'll get there. There's
Okay.
but yeah, we really like the initial level designs were all pretty hard. You can thank Carson, but I went through and kind of we kind of nerfed them because we wanted players to get through the game,
Right,
especially play on stream. Like having a fun game
Mhm.
is important. So
It was kind of a big part of talking about like I know that I talked about pacing a lot, but I think we all kind of talked about like wanting to make sure that our levels were paced out properly so that it was like not starting off too hard, too difficult,
Mhm.
too high tension, but then making sure that like we can actually like kind of noticeably build up to something and have that kind of pacing that works to make it so that you can actually sit down and have like a relatively full experience that you can sit through and like
Right.
of-
Yeah, the prompt for this said that Donkey ostensibly would be playing it for a minimum of 10 minutes longer if they deem it necessary or whatever. But yeah, personally, like a lot of people took the approach of a lot of people just like kind of made what they wanted to make, but like personally, I tried to make sure it was like pared down to be wrapped up in 10 minutes, and that's my game Teleco 20XX. But like, yeah, the consideration of having it played on stream and having it wrap up, or at least be a complete enough experience that sells the concept very quickly is a pretty neat design decision for, because like it kind of means like you're paying attention, you're trying to work with the format, because it does look like you said that you're going to be releasing an expanded version on your Steam page, so.
Yeah, that's kind of what we've been working on since the end of the jam.
Mhm.
Do you want to talk about that more, or like?
yeah, I mean, we're it was very well received, and we felt really like happy with how it turned out and how
Mhm.
quickly we were able to make the amount of content we did. So we felt like it wouldn't be too crazy to like just keep adding a bit more content, polish out like the things that we wanted to, and put it on Steam. So yeah.
That's what we've been working on since the end of the game jam, and we've kind of hit some like hiccups and road bumps here, and then kind of like, especially now that as the next term of college for us is started up again, it's kind of like slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, for
But it's
sure.
like I think we still kind of as a team want to finish it at
Okay.
some point, at least have like a demo or something to kind of put out there for people to
Yeah.
like something we can say like proudly say is like more of a finished product, because like definitely
Yeah, awesome. On that topic, I actually wanted to ask, and by the way, I'm going to be sharing my screen here so you have a more real-time.
Yeah, we got the stream pulled up, but yeah, that if you
Yeah,
if that'll
it's
be
a platformer, so I wanted, I mean, I try to remember to do this, so this is the first time I'm actually remembering to do it before I play the game. But, so I wanted to say, like, did you have any like challenges meeting the deadline? Because like it's a game jam that was run at the end of the year, like when people have finals and people have like holiday and family stuff. Was there anything like that going on? Like, how much time were you able to dedicate to it per day?
For us, the first week was our last week of the semester, so we had some finals there. But the second week was actually fully during break, so we had a decent amount of time there. It also came together. The systems came together pretty quick, because I've done quite a few games sort of like this. I had experience with these sort of things, so it came together pretty quick. Major design like challenges or development things, I don't know. It kind of just worked out.
well, I don't necessarily say it wouldn't like
The music, you guys were not a fan.
The music was a back and forth a little bit, but even then, like that came in safely before the deadline.
Oh yeah, way before.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
I would say some design. We had a lot of like I wouldn't say necessarily back and forth, but like with the levels specifically, we definitely did a lot of we're all pretty fortunate.
Play testing.
Yeah, we're all
and
pretty
then-
pretty fortunate to have like people around us to do play testing, and like we know how to run play tests pretty okay, I'd say.
Okay.
So like
So
we
in
were-
terms of production, like your production timeline, like you weren't really hampered by things like family obligations or anything. It was more on the technical side or the asset generation.
Yeah, I would say.
I will say I probably could have done 3 or 4 more tracks for the game if I didn't have to go down to California. So
Well, yeah, there was.
I had some crunch time at the end there. I was gone for like I did all the work in like the first week and a half, and then it was like for like music and sound design. I mean, and then I had to come back and I had the whole Trello board still, or half the Trello board still to do.
Yeah.
And so I just pounded that out over like I stayed up until like 4 a.m.
I will
like 3 days before the
I
deadline.
will say the last like 2 days, like the last day especially, was pretty tense. Like I think we had some pretty bad last minute stuff kind of come up, and it was
Okay.
I remember. Oh, it was you. It was like the last 2 hours. I think we had to submit for the jam, and
Oliver was working.
I was
Oliver.
Yeah.
Oh no.
All of our lead programmer was like the one actually like doing the build and like making sure that like everything was kind of in place, and then it was just like, okay, I gotta go work. Like
Oh
and
no.
that's like he was on his breaks, and like we were in a Discord call
Mhm.
at his breaks at work, and like we were talking about like getting everything like fixed up or like trying to get it out the door on
I was
time.
like, how's the logo coming along?
Yeah. Most part, yeah.
Yeah.
That was all really last minute.
That's actually why the game's uploaded to Carson's page.
You just had a logistical like foibles, I guess.
Couldn't log in. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was so tense. I
was kind of wondering because I was just like, okay, it sounds like you said that I think you said Revilo was doing the most of the development, and then I was just like, wait, but Carlton is the one. Interesting.
That's the reason. So it's just kind of funny. But yeah, we really were pretty safe. Like,
we were a few hours before the deadline.
A lot of like the game was pretty much like we had we had all of the content in the game that we wanted to have in the game to have it like be finished by the deadline, like a pretty safe amount of time beforehand. It was just like a lot of last minute like kind of technical stuff.
I think the main menu polish is what we were doing. Those last 2 hours, like.
And then some of the art passing for the last levels.
Oh,
do you
yeah.
remember? You want to talk about the? So there was one level. The very last level wasn't fully art passed, and we kind of just decided that it was like at a good enough point, and we didn't want to like go back over it again and try and like because we just kind of time prioritization thing.
Mm-hmm.
But when we saw that they extended the deadline, an hour afterwards, I went back in and was like it usually takes me like I think it took me like 3 hours before to like fully detail an art pass like a full last level.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting there like rapidly like working through this entire like last level to get it completely art passed within the last like I think I got it done in like 30 or 40 minutes or something. And I was like that was super tense.
Oh yeah. Personally, I was just like I liked sitting around thinking just like, man, like my team is freaking out. We're all scrambling. I wonder how many other people are freaking out at this very moment. You know what I mean?
That's like everybody's scrambling.
Yeah, that's kind of
unless you're submitting like days early or something.
Yeah.
The particles came together like the last few days now.
Yeah, very few games were submitted like safely within the deadline. A lot of them you'll see with like with the deadline extension, if it's below 1 hour, that means it was a game submitted after they extended the deadline. But for games like ours, ours says like an hour and 12 minutes, which means we submitted 12 minutes before the deadline, and then they extended it.
It was funny too. We're in a different time zone from where they were making the announcement, and so we saw they were like deadlines extended to 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. or something.
Oh,
we're like,
yeah.
whoa, we have like 12 hours.
Yeah, we know. We thought it was like
the time zone. It's it's 1 hour. Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, yeah. Go ahead.
My personal favorite game was by another dev that I've followed on Twitter for a long time. Well, by a dev that I followed on Twitter, but all the art for the game was made by one of my favorite people. He's also the guy that made a bunch of art for Cruelty Squad, which is one of my favorite games. And
Nice.
Arctic Eggs was that game, and that was submitted like a week before the deadline. It was insane. It was like, dude, that was unfinished. He uploaded his own itch to like his Twitter and was just out. And I was like, okay, I mean, hey man, whatever, it works, it works.
Nah, Arctic Eggs. I haven't actually played that, but I did watch my good friend Cello play it. The one who made All Trouble Fighter X. But
Nice.
I saw that Arctic Eggs was rated very highly. I just I tried reaching out to the dev, but he hasn't gotten back to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, the streaming is going to be happening like imminently, so the voting deadline will be closing, unfortunately. But I think I'm gonna start running the game.
Awesome.
Yeah. Good luck. You got this.
Yeah, I mean, so all right, looks like we got a Unity project. Is this or did you use Unity in your curriculum? Is that what they teach there in the game design or game development?
Yeah. The first year for designers, they have a class that's just teaching Unity. I'd already been in Unity before because of that DigiPen like high school program I mentioned, but everyone else on the team, well, a few of them had already had experience, but yeah, Unity just made a lot of sense.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
What were your other tools that you used, like for your art and your music and things like that?
Oh, for all of the art, I think like all the pixel art was done with Sprite.
Yes, classic.
Yeah, classic. Nothing really like that crazy.
You want to talk about music?
I mean, Sprite is an extremely useful program. There's nothing wrong with using Sprite.
I use Sprite for the main characters stuff as well.
What did you do for the
music?
Yeah.
So I used Ableton because I use Ableton for my solo projects. And I just think I just have more practice in it than FL Studio. And I don't know. I think okay, I'm not going to get to that. But so for the sound effects, I made them or I found royalty-free ones online, but I didn't directly take royalty-free ones online just because I think that's stupid. So I had a use of like sampling and retexturing. Like they're usually layered sound effects. They're just usually changed heavily. Like I audio engineer out a lot out of it just so that way I can I don't know, make them feel like they're my own so I can take responsibility for it. I don't know, take accountability for if they're bad or if they're good. And also it just makes them sound better because I don't know, I just think that some of them sound too tinny or sound too monotone if you just get them straight out of the box.
Right. On that topic, actually, is there supposed to be sound on the menu?
I don't think
Is
so.
there? I don't think
no,
there's
Okay. It just looks very animated, so I'm just like I don't hear anything. I wonder, like I hope it's not.
That would be a great sound for her to make.
That was really something we like. I think given another like week or so to go through and do like even more polish on it, I think that probably would have been something. But it was kind of just a lower priority to like we really wanted to focus on making the main gameplay as polished in like, good feeling like everything around that. Is
UI always gets the butt of the.
I mean it's cool. It works. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I used Ableton for the music, but for the sound effects I used Audacity, which is a free platform. And if any music people listen, you know Audacity is the GOAT.
Why wouldn't you use it or Audacity, right?
Yeah, I mean it's very simple, but you can just do anything in it, and it's just so easy to just export things at a tiny little file size. And I mean I don't know, it's
like one of the few things that will export an OGG. So it's just like I need it like because a lot of things just don't loop properly unless they're in OGG format for some reason. I don't know the technical details. But yeah, actually, so I mean the menu is already very funny. So like, how did you come up with this one? Like, what was the idea behind this?
I can kind of talk about.
Yeah, actually, Carson should probably talk about because I think Carson did all
Carson.
the art.
This was my jurisdiction.
Yeah.
There was no creative thought process other than old people when they have their phones out, they always put it far away from them, and they always stretch out their pointer finger before they touch things. I only know this because I go over to my grandparents' house a lot. And so when I noticed it, I was like, well, given the fact that I can draw really good shitpost portraits as well. And that was kind of I don't remember. Did I discuss it with you guys before we did it? I don't remember.
Well, I think
I talked about having to be a little bit about that. Yeah, I've done similar menus to this in the past with like a goofy character. It's a nice way to like get kind of the player interested and stuff.
Yeah. So did you ask like, hey, I need the main character with the pointer finger out. like, please give me that, and then you're like, okay.
I mean, the initial main menu idea was a flip phone. Because we anticipated her, since she's doing this for money, it would make the most sense if she didn't have like a high-end phone or something like that. But for time, we cut it. There are some really crappy placeholder sprites that I could show since I still have them, but they're nothing super special.
I mean, we love crappy placeholders. I would absolutely love to see those.
So, I mean, I don't think anybody else has it, so I just got to find it real fast. But
I think
the old blockout, remember?
Yeah, I remember.
With the
Yeah,
fold.
yeah. This was the initial idea.
Okay, let's see that.
It's
Granny
nothing
Gaming.
It's nothing super special, but I mean that was the initial blockout, and then just kind of made a really dumb drawing, and it was like, well, if I just alter this a little bit, it should go in. The only difference between that one and then this one right here is the fact that there's a bit of shading, and her chin was shaved.
I see.
Yeah, she lost chin privileges.
Damn, chinless.
Yeah, there are two more like funny bits, but the only other thing that I guess would be worth showing is just the buttons that I set up before we decided to scrap it for time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean,
the
makes sense.
crappy placeholders.
I was
think-
actually
yeah.
wondering because everything else looks pretty bespoke, but you went with the default font for the buttons here, and I was just like, well, you made like this fancy thing. You have the button finger, and then like I don't know, it kind of. I was just like, I wonder what happened there. So yeah, time constraints absolutely make sense because it looks like you did actually just draw the UI elements on there.
And I gotta be honest, as the guy like putting together the UI on the technical side, I still don't totally understand fonts in Unity that well. So like I was just kind of putting that off. I'm gonna get into it for the fall polish release. We'll figure it out.
Nice,
But yeah.
nice.
Like
They're my favorite
Have
thing.
you
I love fonts, but in Unity they're a little tricky.
have you never done like a custom font for?
I have,
we
but it's
had
always a
to
little
for
janky.
class for Des 101.
It's always a little janky.
Yeah.
So
All right.
Yeah.
Well, without further ado, I'm gonna hit the start button. Let's do it.
yeah, let's do it.
We got this.
Mansion. All right, it's time. All right. So we got QWERTY. I don't assume this has keyboard support. Very cool animation there. I like the wiggly hose.
Well, for the card.
Thank you. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I thought that would be a nice little extra thing, little follow up animation stuff.
Oh geez, that's like a dash. I can see
Yeah.
the Celeste, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's air dashing too, but that's a little more advanced.
Or wave dashing.
Wave
It's really hard to
dashing.
do in this.
Well, shit.
Yeah,
No.
Look, I believe me.
I was a fool.
Yeah.
I love movement tech, so I've adjusted the movement to like make all the movement tech a little easier. Maybe add some more.
You said you had one of the things that often falls through or just doesn't come through for these game jams. I've noticed is just playtesting. So it sounds like you had a lot of people playtesting for you. How valuable was that input for changing the mechanics?
Invaluable. That was like I think without like our playtesting like that. Like,
Yeah, the game was nothing.
I mean, it was such a big like especially having people down like sitting down and just having them try out like the mechanics like with just the vacuum and like seeing how it feels and how they like it and like if whether it was like, oh, is this like does this feel like juiced up or interesting, does this like feel like something that's fun to just do by itself, and then we kind of built levels and mechanics around that.
Yeah,
Right.
my whole focus as a designer and programmer is player movement. It's my favorite thing. So
I see.
I've done a lot of platformers and stuff, and I brought that here. But yeah, having people play it, you'll see later on, once you get the second mechanic, the trickiness of making the inputs work. There was a lot of back and forth on that, and we've improved it even further. So yeah.
Gotcha. I do like the particle work here, like the sparks coming off, and also the little like jets of dust there.
Thank you.
There we go. All right, we got a spring. So did you have an idea behind the music here? Like, what is this music?
So Tony Laredo, this is just like it's So there's a popular song, "House of the Rising Sun," that everybody has a cover of. This is I sampled Tony Laredo's cover of "Que Te Amaba," which is just, I don't know, it's a song about love, and it's just an old timey song. It was in my samples file, and then I layered some strings over it, and I put some effects on it. So he is really, if you listen to the original song, it's like a guitar under it. And then I put kind of like a more like, I don't know, man, like a fancy sort of like sound, because it's like, we're in a mansion, like I want some airy strings over it. I don't know. So also, me and Oliver had some fights.
Oh no.
Music.
Brutal battles.
Yeah, no. And so there was definitely like, that was close.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're all watching. And so there's definitely some.
Oops, shit.
Changes to the music to make it a view that we all like a little more. And I will say, for the final game, I probably quadrupled the amount of tracks that are in this game. Maybe quintupled, and they're all better. Yeah. That's just for this level. I don't know. So it definitely doesn't match the rest of the soundtrack for the rest of the game, but yeah.
There's also a bit of a. It's supposed to kind of have this spooky vibe with the kind of narrative. We weren't really able to put in the narrative to this. There's hints that it's supposed to be,
but it's not really something like. But the narrative wasn't really a focus. It was kind of just like. It's something we briefly discussed as a team of okay, so what's actually going on here, and then we kind of made our art and levels vaguely to show that up, but it's nothing that we expected for the player to actually be able to pick up or understand. It was kind of
So you have a headcanon narrative.
Yeah, just in fun with the development a little bit.
I really like it when games have a narrative that the developers have fully planned. Epic. That's epic. They just give little hints to it, and so the player, it makes everything internally consistent, but it kind of leaves it more from the player. I don't know. Kind of works too for a game that's more focused on gameplay.
Right.
One of my favorite parts about the main character, which isn't even an animation I did, it's a thing that I was begging Oliver to do because I really didn't want to do it by hand, is every time you jump, you see how your backpack kind of lags behind is kind of heavy?
Right.
Love that. And when you go off a spring, it goes it wiggles a little bit. Dude, I watch.
Yeah, it's cool. So it doesn't even look like it's hold on, let me see. So it looks like that the backpack is a separate entity, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And you're procedurally moving it behind her, and probably using a trigonometric function to make it look like it's circling around.
I think actually it's completely linear. It just
linear. Okay.
It just looks that way because it's so fast.
Yeah.
The backpack itself has gone through 8 iterations.
Oh, the art for
not 8. It's
no, because we had the small version. Maybe it's 6.
We wanted to do. I know Celeste does a really good job of they only have the dash, so it's a little easier to do. But the hair changing color when you have your dash or not, and we wanted to do some sort of UI on the player itself, like that, on the backpack. So the backpack was designed over and over to include
what
that.
conveys it best.
Yeah.
I mean, not just because Celeste did it, but just because also it's I think it's a really important thing to communicate to the player. A subtler way, yet something that's.
Oh right, there's a bug here. So if you walk backwards a little bit,
you have to watch your left.
If you walk to the left,
it'll trigger
the camera trigger. This was unfortunately one of the bugs that walked in.
You might have to jump. You might have to.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No worries. I was actually looking behind me because I heard something. In my real life.
Oh yes, okay, yeah. I was there shouldn't be anything behind you in the game.
Shit. Yeah. I've unfortunately had to relocate because my floor flooded, so there's mildew down there, and I had to move everything into a kitchen that is a common space. So
Hear about that.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. Don't worry about it. But very cool. So very intricate. I think I think I've had a hard. Let me see.
Once you get past this room, I think this is the only place that the bug happens, so it shouldn't be. It's not.
I'd recommend full screening so you don't hack.
Oh yeah. There's full screen. Very cool.
It's one of the things that was kind of what is it? Thing we forgot to put in for playtests.
Gotcha. Let me think here. What the hell was I saying? Oh, right. The backgrounds are all very intricate. The art is like, I would say, a pretty intense contribution to this. Also, the soundtrack is, I quite like what you did with the music here. Did you have any struggles like coming up with asset generation? Like, were there any assets that you spent a lot of time on, or any things that were just like giving you kind of a block?
The mansion was actually probably like the dungeon. I think was the first area that I ended up doing like all the our assets for, and that was pretty like I wouldn't say super straightforward, but I think I only went through like 2 or 3 different iterations of kind of what I wanted to do, the environment art. And it really helped that I was starting with.
Oh shit.
That I think we all like looked at a bit before, if I remember correctly. To like kind of just work off of that, but the mansion was surprisingly difficult to get feeling right, and I think at the end we still like I think Oliver wasn't like I think we all kind of agreed that it could have been better, end product, and it's kind of a point of contention and like a back and forth. But
it's completely changed, completely new mansion.
Yeah. That was the ever since the game jam. That's something we can continue to be working on. Is the background art and stuff more better.
We can give an exclusive preview of the new mansion.
Oh shit. So it's preview of the mansion. Nice. I'd be down. I'm having like a weird time with my controls here. I don't know if my focus is being taken from the window, because like sometimes I'll spawn and then I'll have to click the window again before I can move, which keeps causing me to die.
That might just be a problem with like playing it online.
Okay.
You might also be accidentally clicking on the outside of the window and keep collecting. That was a common issue. Since you have a free cursor, people accidentally clicking outside the game. We've since locked the cursor and fixed that.
Okay.
But obviously, that's really cool. Yeah.
Hell yeah, we made it.
Did we have anything with the browser differences kind of causing? I can't remember. If that was,
I don't know of any browser.
Let me see here.
I can also recommend using the full extent of the blow ability. Will probably help you out.
Oh, crazy.
Oh right.
No, that's not.
Yeah, you're actually the reason you're failing is because you suck so much.
Damn it.
I know you've got like a lot to focus on, so maybe that helps you out.
I know, it's cool. I'm actually like, I've been surprised. Like, I have not had as much trouble as I thought with these. Although having to learn a great many different control schemes with a great many different like play styles has been quite interesting. But yeah, I definitely like the like I said, like the push and the pull. It's a fresh take on it. Like you do have to whip your mouse around a lot, but everything seems to be pretty tightly constructed, so it's not like the worst thing that this could be is unresponsive, right? And I don't get that sense at all, so I'm glad, because I especially for the game jam, like there's been a great many like different levels of I guess like QA, but because it's a jam, like there's nothing wrong with that per se. It's just a natural consequence of the format. But yeah, this feels pretty good to play.
Thank you. Yeah, I would say this is probably the first game jam game I've done where I'm confident saying that it's actually fun. I've heard people say it's fun.
Yeah.
It's easy with the game jam to have a really cool concept, but just not be able to make it fun at the end of it all.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The last one I did with Oliver was definitely, I loved the concept, and I think it looked really cool, and I think I like the music more, I like the art style more, I like everything about it more, but it is just not as fun as this game.
Yeah, I definitely say that's a thing with experience and just keep trying.
So I'm assuming has every person in the team beaten your game yet? By the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I think so.
Oh damn it.
I don't know if I've beaten it I've beaten it to the part where you can't beat it anymore in this.
Nice.
Yeah. We've all beaten the jam version.
Yeah.
So is the completion state like bugged or something, or not complete, or?
Yeah,
Basically.
it was really unfortunate, and it was super heartbreaking for us as a team to realize like that's
Yeah. In the last level,
Shit.
there's a section that's broken, and so we can't beat it. Thankfully, it's at the very last level, near the end of that level, so not
Okay.
a huge loss. Still bummer. I feel like you kind of need that in the game. That's something big.
Ah, damn it.
You found the swag route.
I did. I saw it immediately. I was like, oh, that looks like a speedrunning thing.
yeah.
Sometimes I right click and then I don't go. Sometimes. Is there like a delay?
I had a couple times earlier in the development where people were saying that it was eating their input, and I felt that too. I'm not sure what's going on. I haven't experienced it with the new control scheme, so
It's
yeah, I don't know.
it's the part of playtesting that it's like it'd be really helpful to have maybe some other tools to try and like figure it out, because it's something I think we've noticed a few times occasionally in playtesting, but we've never been able to like consistently replicate it or like pin down what it is that's it can happen. And then also just the weird blink of like maybe it's just part of like the WebGL build of it, or like vectors being played on the flag, or like you know what, entirely know what might be causing something like that.
Yeah, the technical, I guess the technical side of things, compatibility testing frightens me. I'm just like, I have no idea what I would do. Also, man, that must be a pretty tight jump, but it looks doable, right?
Yeah, well,
That's
you
a
want
cool
to dash
thing.
first.
Yeah.
If I dash first.
That's a
Oh, I have
cool
to dash
thing.
first. Yeah.
Having the two abilities, it can kind of become a puzzle sometimes of which ability you want to use first.
Yeah, it's resource management.
Yeah, it is. It's cool.
I made it.
Oh,
Oh.
That's close though.
you're getting there, yeah.
I will say that I'm not very good at mouse-based things because I have a weird mouse, and I'm typically using it in game developer mode where my mouse is actually kind of in the center of my desk. It's weird, but shit. So that's my excuse, but don't worry about that.
we will say for the Steam version we are adding controller support,
Nice.
and like kind of reworking the entire like mouse system to make it a lot more.
I was close. I use an upright mouse for ergonomic reasons, and yeah, I'm just not very good at this anymore, unfortunately. Oh shit. But right. So I did notice you said that you have the diegetic backpack thing. You said Celeste uses it. I haven't actually played all through Celeste. So looks like I replenish it when I touch the ground, and then batteries obviously replenish it. Very cool. Fuck. No. I thought I might have been able to save that one.
That was so close.
Yes. So, how many iterations, like, what was your level design process? Because level design is, like, very, it's crazy. Because, like, I don't know, did you just do it as an exploratory thing? Did you seek to make discrete challenges? Did you, like, what was your process for that?
Carson, do you want to talk about it first, or should I talk about the level
I
design?
mean, I think I can explain it all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, like the level you're playing now, I was the one to make the basic block out, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was then Oliver and Lance who then polished it up to completion, which is amazing. I think this level went through like 3 iterations before we fully were like, all right, I think this level is good enough to be put in the game.
I would usually 3 big iterations. There were definitely a lot of like.
Well, I'm talking like main level.
No,
Wait.
that's a
not
What?
level.
I've never seen.
I can
this before.
explain that bug if you care.
Yeah, absolutely. What the fuck just...
I played the game jam specifically like quite a few times, so I can never encounter this.
So basically, the doors, what they do is when you touch them, they like store who touched them. They like say, "This is the player that touched me," and then they'll like check like, "Okay, when is this player going to press the enter the door button?" but they never like unqueue that player. So as soon as you touch the door, the next time you press up, you'll enter the door, even if you're like nowhere near the door. So you pressed up and entered the door. Someone else.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I did technically get to the door. I just wanted to try doing it the normal way too.
Yeah.
Right.
5 levels, so we've got plenty of stuff to go through.
So
This
I
is
did-
my white music EDM era, by the way. So enjoy it.
I'm sorry.
This is my like white girl music EDM era.
Nice, nice. Hell yeah.
And it's I will say it was very EDM before, and that was I was told no. I was told that's not allowed. I really had to turn off the. It was kind of. I didn't even like it. It was so EDM. Like it was like great.
Like you're
Like,
literally like you put it on and then you're suddenly wearing shutter shades.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. You did it.
Gotcha. So I did want to point out, and I don't remember the fancy term for this, but you've done a very good job at like organically just demonstrating the mechanics of the player. Like, obviously you have like a UI element here, but even if you didn't, like the wall here is just like, well, what else do I do? And instead of like just ramming into it.
That's actually before we added in any of the like the mouse icons to show you like what to do.
Mhm.
We actually I tested the levels first without them like at all, just seeing if like they could like kind of naturally figure that out. And I kind of just put in the mouse icon to like kind of like support those players who like maybe like kind of like for the people who are like I wouldn't play test for, who like maybe couldn't figure it out on their own and like kind of needed that additional support. But yeah, I definitely wanted it to be as like the learning process for the game's mechanics is like organic as possible, because I personally kind of hate that in a lot of
Tutorialization.
yeah is like the one thing I hate the most in a game is like I want to sit down and like actually play through a game, and I
First try.
I just when like a text box like pops up and it's like something like, oh, here's how you play the game and do these things, and like
Right.
I feel like that's kind of I feel like it can be done more interesting in a more interesting way.
Right. I mean, doing it organically, like obviously some games will require a certain amount of that, but for these kinds of things, like you want to make it a solution that is tailored to your specific needs.
Yeah, of course. There are obviously there are many cases where like you need to kind of spell it out, and it's not so much that I guess I'm against the idea of doing that. It's just that like when it's not strictly necessary, like, I kind of want to cut back on doing it as much as possible if you can make it as part of your level design instead.
Right. Personally, like I was planning on having perhaps like more mechanics in my game, but I boiled it all the way down to just inputs and 2 buttons, and it's just like, all right, now figure it out, I guess. But
yeah.
communicating the mechanics through level design is something that I pay attention a lot to, so definitely notice that there.
Thank you. It's something I'm definitely really proud of with out of the levels that are really fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
Here I go. Aw, damn it.
You gotta add a Granny's jamming achievement or something. Like,
Oh shit. Yeah, my input I think got eaten there.
oh man.
Alright. Wait. Shit. I forgot that I didn't have the thing. And this way. Nope. Shit. Almost. But yeah, I'm definitely enjoying these mechanics. Like, definitely a great job. Just the level design is very tight. It's cool.
Thank you.
I'm gonna touch this door and then I'm gonna go away from it. Then I'm gonna.
Yep. Yeah. I never experienced that. I
You gotta
guess.
find out the speed run viability of that.
Yeah, we need to set. We need to figure out what flags that sets and like how to manipulate them.
Yeah. I don't think we've managed to avoid RNG so far. We'll see.
Yeah. Hey, Twinkling Blimp. if you're not aware, Cyberwitch there is the developer of Witchcore, and Twangling Blimp there is the lead developer of Legend of Lu Remastered. So very, very great people in the chat right now. So we're here with the developers of Unduster, Oliver, Atlas, Lance, Geri, and Carson. Definitely a great team. I've been recommended this a few times. So here's another example. It's sort of like you communicate this through the level design. It's just like, well, where else do I go but through this hole? And obviously, if you go through the hole, you're probably going to brush into this thing. If you don't get it the first time, you might brush into it the second time. So, yeah, very organic. I like it.
Okay.
Shit. My inputs. So on the topic of silly bugs, was there any sort of like code that you were having a lot of trouble with? Something that was simple and it should work, but it just didn't. Something you slammed your head against for a very long time.
I think, I don't know. There was checkpoints. There was a lot of weird stuff with checkpoints.
Oh wow, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You don't need to say anything more because that was the only one that had major bugs. Everything else kind of worked
Actually,
out the first or second attempt.
The camera was also a bit rough. I mean, as you know, there's still a camera bug in there. I like rewrote it and I was like, okay, now it's fixed, and then not fixed. That's how it goes.
You want to talk about the checkpoints though, because that was like a demon for our project.
What
for,
specific bug? Because I don't remember.
Oh, the checkpoint.
It would teleport you into the ground.
Yeah.
or-
So yeah. So it's like it would happen consistently where like the
Oh, yeah.
checkpoint, when you'd respawn, it would spawn you in the ground or like in arbitrary distance underneath the checkpoint.
And I actually know. Yeah.
But like we kept on fixing it up, and like we're like, okay, we're now for sure now like we know it's fixed. Like I tested it, it's working now, guys. Like it's fine. And then like we would like do a play test, like, and it happens immediately, and it's just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the reason this whole game actually is using custom physics that I made.
Okay.
Physics. I wanted like pixel perfect physics, like Celeste has. Objects can't phase through each other if they're going too fast, which can be a problem normally.
Does that involve a lot of vectors?
What thing? Like my custom physics or?
Well, if I were to code a collider or a physics system where no matter how fast you're going, you don't phase through each other, then I would probably use a lot of vectors for it.
I guess it's vectors. The main thing that you have to do is you have to basically it's a performance trade-off. I can get into like technicals of it. I don't know if it's that interesting.
I mean, well, the thing is, like, my primary audience so far has been other game developers, so literally, like, you know.
Yeah. So in Unity's like normal physics, there's you can choose when you're making a rigid body, which is their like physics collision resolution component. You can either choose from discrete or continuous collision. With discrete, basically whatever your velocity is, that's how far that you move through the scene each frame. And basically, if you move to a position based on your velocity and you're like inside a terrain, basically it'll be like, oh, you're in terrain, and it'll move you backwards. That's basically how it works. I don't know exactly, but the continuous collision, on the other hand, tries to make it so that you move in smaller increments. Because what can happen is if you're moving too fast, or like increments of position, you're moving along, you might accidentally just go through something, which is why like thin walls phase through them if you're going too fast. So the solution to that is to just do your collision checks at every single position in between where you're starting and where you're ending. So what is nice when you're working with pixels, because you have the small increment of position, which is a pixel.
Right.
Like,
but it's not like it's not arbitrarily small. It's very discrete.
Yeah, it's a very specific amount. And so since it's like 8 pixels per unit, the performance trade-off isn't as bad. So it makes sense for pixel physics.
Okay, so you sort of lower the resolution of the collision detection.
Yeah, you lower the resolution, but you increase the like reliability.
Yeah, awesome. Cyberwitch, this is in Unity.
And I will say, the only reason I even learned about all that is from a blog post from Matty Thorson, the devs on Celeste. They just made a blog post explaining like how their physics worked, and that kind of sent me off on that.
Awesome.
Discovery.
It's funny because I have seen posts about how Celeste is kind of put together with spaghetti code, but like it's like part of the conversation of like, does your code need to be super good? I mean, you know, I don't really mind, but obviously having like clean coding conventions would probably be helpful for the developer just in terms of production.
Yeah,
But
that's something that I definitely notice as somebody who's primarily a designer. I'm usually a lot less interested in making something that's like technically like clean and concise, and my first priority is always usually like to make something that's like fun to play and like works well from like kind of a design perspective, and then kind of like I'm not usually super worried about it from kind of more of a technical standpoint. But that's the reason why Oliver was the lead programmer for the project, and I didn't really do a whole lot.
Also, fun fact: if you touch those spikes next to the checkpoint, you'll soft lock. So don't do that.
if I touch the spikes next to the checkpoint, these
Those spikes on the left side, yeah.
Oh, I thought we were good.
Because yeah, we want to delete this checkpoint, but if you die, you'll get locked in there with the doors locked. And,
oh no.
Thankfully, most people typically are pretty,
those spikes are pretty easy to avoid. So
and it's something that you can like most people are pretty trying to progress through the game and get like to the next area. So not something we see from that.
Another thing I'll say about like spaghetti code,
Mhm.
there's kind of a weird thing with like when you're trying to make cool movement specifically, or like weird emergent mechanics.
Yeah.
Writing spaghetti code will actually kind of you have more bugs because it's less organized. And you can solve the bugs, but I don't know, bugs when you're writing movement, bugs can often turn into like the coolest features. So
Yeah,
there's
very
kind of
expressive movement.
yeah, there's an element of like they let cheese mold and it becomes better. So, like I don't know, it's kind of weird where writing buggy movement can make it better somehow.
Yeah, it just like I said, it just makes more expressive movement. You have more options, ones that weren't even intended, ones that might break things, but they break things in an interesting fashion. I mean, I don't have to mention all the wealth of the. You mentioned wave dashing, right? Like, wave dashing was known by the Melee team when they made it, but it wasn't something that they felt that they needed to fix. But it became like one of the staple movement mechanics of one of the most iconic fighting games of all time.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, I love that stuff.
was it? I can't remember exactly. Was it that they didn't know about it, or is it or that like I can't because I remember the Melee the production cycle for that game was like super duper short. Like they were super rushed and like actually getting
Oh yeah, they made Melee in a year.
yeah it was like crazy stuff. So I guess I always attributed some of those bugs that make like the modern like Melee fighting like that competitive scene so interesting, kind of as like unintended by the developers, but that kind of just worked out.
Right. Bop. Ah, damn it. Starwood says that's at least one reason I think TF2 is better than Overwatch. Yeah, like there's sort of a weird like element of soullessness to something that has good quality assurance. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
Oliver actually talked about this like a little bit throughout like when he was talking about like the visual tech. And it was like, kind of briefly like through conversations like surrounding our game is kind of like almost that like you can almost make something that's too polished and that's too kind of clean and like has too many like safety belts or like running wheels and stuff to kind of like
Can I just quickly
Yes.
talk about Lance's background in making stuff? Is that he is a TF2 map maker, and I come from making CS:GO maps, and so that was a really funny comment to read out loud on stream. I just
yeah,
as two TF2 Overwatch fans,
Yeah.
Good crowd.
Yeah. Yeah, I was disappointed with like how little variation in movement expressions you could really do in Overwatch just from the jump.
Yeah.
And that there wasn't really any like weird cheese. There you could kind of carve out something with like I don't know. Well, actually no, they removed like rapid crouching.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that. But yeah,
Batiste was interesting, but like I feel like it was really like Lucio was interesting. Monkey's jump was like a cool tech, I guess, but that was really one ability on a 14-second cooldown. I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you. Like, there's some Moira, as a Moira main, there's some Moira techs to jump off stuff, but yeah, I really think that it's not as fun as, you know, getting like a 540, you know, spy jump kill, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
Or like a kill with that one shovel that a soldier has that like deals more damage when you
Well, I mean, those are all some more of like intended features, but I do think it is a little ironic that I think Overwatch was trying to have more player expression by having more heroes and stuff, but I think they ultimately ended up having less because they didn't like a lot of the more interesting movement stuff like rocket jumping or just as like a surface example, just kind of things in TF2 that add a lot of depth to how the game is played is kind of taken out, or like when like I guess I didn't take that same philosophy over to
They ironed out the wrinkles, man. That's what. Shade 11 says, was this for Janky? Yeah, this is for the Big Mo Game Jam. If you're just joining us, this is the Unduster team. This is one of the games made for the 2023 Big Mode Game Jam for Donkey's our publishing company, Big Mode. The theme was Mode. That we had 2.5 weeks to make these, and yeah, we're here with the developers of that game. So very, very cool. I really like all these movement options. Unfortunately, yeah. Okay, so I noticed that even though my cursor was here, it's interacting with my Twitch stream overlay. What the fuck?
Oh no.
I think that's what's been eating my movement, so I'm gonna move that.
You've experienced.
Weird. Alrighty.
The game's actually fully completable for most people. I don't know why you would have a problem with completing it. That must be a stream bug.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Shit.
Oh, close.
I feel like okay, so man, so the movement option is really fun. I really like when I can chain the batteries together. That's a lot of fun.
That's my favorite part too.
Yeah,
that's a
Because then I also get to hear my reload sound effect, which I think is my most compliment. If you like check out the reviews, it's like the most like of all the sound effects. People, like multiple people have said they just want to listen to the reload sound effect, which is like, yeah, thanks. I did like make it by hand, but also like, come on, man.
It's a cool sound. There's a lot of really satisfying sounds. So kind of
yeah.
The reload animation was the first player animation that he made. He made sure of that.
Oh yeah, I'm a really big fan of. There was, I don't know, it was difficult to do. And by difficult, I mean it was an animation in A-Sprite. It is the first animation I've ever made in my entire life. Well, that was on a pixelated platform. I have a background in like making like hand-drawn animations and claymation stuff like that, but I've never used like an animation app. And so
I'm pretty sure I was sitting in lecture and we were at like the very back of class, and I think I was watching you two like talk about it. Like Oliver was like walking him through how to like do stuff in A-Sprite. Like they were working on it, and like while the professor was talking.
And then you're like, what? Where did everything go? And it's like, oh, you went into whatever it's called, like advanced mode or something.
Yeah.
You ever hit that key and then like suddenly everything in your UI just goes away, and it's just like, what the fuck did I just do?
I've done that for like specific hotbars. I didn't even know that that's a thing you could do. So thanks for telling me what not to do.
Yeah, I think it's advanced mode. I think it's if you accidentally hit like F or something, like, or maybe one of the function keys. I don't recall. But yeah, A-Sprite is just so fucking cool.
Yes.
It's one of those things where it's just like every single feature that you learn about it, it's just like, I feel more powerful.
This was my first project that I actually used A-Sprite for. I didn't know. I was originally going to do the pixel art for the project in my usual drawing application, Krita, which is it's open source.
Yeah, I've used Krita. I haven't gotten the hang of it because I haven't figured out where the brush options are for like. My tablet pen is really shitty. It's like a third-party one, and the DPI is horrible. So I've been trying to figure out the brush smoothing, and just I didn't try that hard yet. But
it takes a little bit of tinkering, but it's kind of. But I originally was going to do the pixel art through that, and I'm so glad that Oliver like actually showed me. Like I had no idea what A-Sprite was, because I've never really done a whole lot or like really any pixel art before. This project, so it was kind of really cool to discover that tool and like get to play around with it and like
especially as an artist. It was a lot of fun to mess with.
Damn it. Awesome, yeah. Literally, like, I would say that, like, 90% of the people that had pixel art games, that I've talked with have said that they use Sprite.
It's I've gotten that impression from seeing that kind of online. That, like, it seems like an overwhelmingly popular tool for
Yeah.
doing.
I use it, or I bought it, like, kind of back in the day, and I specifically did it because it allowed you to, change the mode to color indexed, and then you could dynamically change the color palette.
Yeah.
Shit, I almost made that. I almost accidentally ducked under one battery and still almost made it. The tech.
In the new version, one of the first things I added was
Hell yeah.
momentum, to the blow ability. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did
the momentum and
We gotta do it for the culture.
we did a bit more tinkering with the back game to make it feel even better.
Yeah.
Nice. This one's a little trickier. Okay, now we're good. We're chilling. Alright. Shit. Nope, we're good. Hell yeah. I kind of like traveling backwards while I'm doing everything. No dust bunnies. Actually, yeah. So did you have any like features that you just simply didn't have the time to scope for? Like, did you really want something in the game that just you could not justify having it in?
Granny rapping. We really wanted like passive emote stab. One of them was going to be Granny was going to take out a boombox, put it on her shoulder, and then into it. So I have a background in rapping, and so I just thought it would be funny to like lay down a quick freestyle. And it'd be also my voice, and so I was going to do like a you know like I can like move my voice to a deeper octave and then like rap down here. I just think that'd be really funny to play.
Yeah.
I will say that was kind of the thing that I think we wanted to do. We wanted to add in smaller things to kind of build on the sillier, like kind of less serious tone.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Sorry. I fucking choked at the end.
Oh, we're all watching on the edge of the seat.
Yeah, but we were trying to add more funny stuff as Lance.
Yeah, we wanted to do a lot of smaller like bits and gags to kind of like complement the tone a little bit, and that was something that got cut, I think, pretty early on.
Also, the snow. There's supposed to be a dude in the first of the man. Oh, slug. In the chair, there's supposed to be a slug with like a little very obviously like fake like cardboard cutout of like a businessman on his front. So it looked like not actually a slug. It was like an eldritch sort of horror abomination of a slug.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's the room.
the room.
It's the room,
This
guys.
is the one that doesn't work.
Give it a try.
Give it a try.
Give it a try.
Give it a try.
Yeah, come on. Maybe he fixes it.
Maybe it works for
Yeah.
you.
It's the streamer mode.
Streamer mode, yeah. It could go either way. Let me think here. Oh, right. So I also like that, like, the granny kind of, like, lifts her arm up like this, because, like, what you were saying with the shutter shades and the EDM, just, like, I'm just, like, pumping my fist, you know?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, she's dancing along.
Alright, so, I think I know how to route this. So, let me see. I'm gonna go here. Ah, shit, I missed.
That's the thing you
That's the thing you didn't miss. That top.
Oh, you have to activate that one first? Or...
No,
top band is just broken. That was the
That was the bug. It really sucks, but I'm also grateful that it happened there's only one more room after this, and then that's the end of the game.
Okay.
So, really super grateful that this bug did happen at the very
at
end.
the very end.
Like,
Yeah,
at the-
like
So
not
that-
missed out much.
So it's like we still got to showcase like all of the level design that we did and all the things that we worked on, and like we still got to have all of this content to kind of show off, but it's still a massive bummer that we weren't like able to have the game with a good technical finish. And
So do you know what caused the fan to break?
Yes. In the Unity editor, I had it set up so that you would drag a reference of the fan to the door, so the door would know which fans to like cause it to open.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, it didn't get dragged in, so that fan isn't connected.
It's actually what happened.
Actually.
I think I looked at it afterwards and it was it needs a reference to both the fan and the light.
That was it.
And it had a reference. It had a reference to the door, but it didn't have a reference to the light. So it didn't actually ever work, just because it didn't have that.
It would try to turn on the light when you activated the fan, and then it's like there's no light, error, and then it doesn't.
So the worst part about that bug is that it visually.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a great bug. You're bug testing.
Thank you.
Hell yeah, thank you.
I will say that I've actually managed to complete people's games by finding ways to break them in real time. So I'm investigating. Unfortunately, I think the camera is just I think I literally cannot get underneath myself to actually propel myself to fix the camera.
The pause menu, you can restart the level, but that's all
How do you get the pause menu up?
Escape. Obviously, it won't work in full screen.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh yeah, we have a cool whole pause menu here. Do you like all that beautiful art?
Oh yeah.
I didn't even do it. I like it.
I mean, yeah, it's great.
Alice just really likes it. I don't know. I think it's alright.
How do you get the screen there to work?
I just want to click a button.
Oh yeah, if you click a button, the screen does stuff.
As a confirmation menu.
Yeah.
It's nothing that it's.
If you click restart, it won't instantly restart. It'll ask if you want.
Yeah.
Nice. It's on the vacuum.
Yeah. It's on the. It was a cool idea that we had kind of
Oh yeah.
Yeah. In fact, for this part, I literally did do that with the audio. I went in and by hand. I know there's a better way to do this. I went in and by hand cut out like every other beat on the drum loop that I had made, because I made like 3 drums and they were being layered. There was like an 808 loop and a hi-hat loop and a drum loop. And I literally cut them out at different parts, and so it's literally going bump, 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 bump. Which I don't know. It was fun. It was fun to do. Again, very EDM. I don't know.
Nice.
There's better.
The pause graphs, I see. We'll see if that works.
Yeah. Let's see if this pod.
Hopefully, my physics can handle this.
So Cyberwitch says, was there an ending? And Twinkling Blimp is asking if you could stream a fixed version because they're curious.
I think so. I mean,
Do we have like the?
we have
the.
I'd have to see if we can get. I don't know how long it would take.
I have a Windows build that's technically actually finished. If you like,
you have a Windows build?
I can send. It's in the Google Drive if you look at it.
Oh man,
I
you know
guess-
what else is in the Google Drive? The old version, the full EDM version of the songs.
Nice.
So, if you go to the Google Drive, it should be version 1.3.
Okay, bro. Please. Oh,
Which where
probably not in music.
1.3.
yeah.
So is this just the jam version that we fixed?
Yeah, it's the jam version, but
Jam
it's,
version. Okay.
there's some bugs that were fixed.
Okay. Supposedly we have a Windows build that will work. Do you want that? Would that be cool?
Oh, you want to ship it to me? Yeah, sure.
How should we send it over?
No idea. I'm assuming it doesn't fit in Discord.
We got it on Google Drive. We can share it through there. You think
Sure.
That works. Sure. I guess probably DM me your email. That might be
Let's see.
something. I don't know.
Yeah, we're just gonna leak it.
Right. Let me
Leak a
see.
fixed version of the same game. Like,
Oh,
oh,
we get their email.
Oh.
Ah, shit. Right, I'm in QWERTY mode. Give me 1 second.
Somebody want to pull that up and like make sure it's all good? That build.
Yeah, sure. We'll put it up on my phone.
There's not like online.
I had someone tell me that they played it on their phone.
I think
There we
Really? I think it's
Right,
my
go on.
parents, and they said that like somebody like played it on their phone somehow.
Oh yeah, my dad played it on his phone.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Is it like automatic?
No.
It's so hard.
Does that work? It does not work.
It does not work. He got through the entire game.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right.
There's
There's the link for you.
But yeah, I think when I say all the bugs, I think there's actually a few. I think there's a few camera bugs that are still in there. I tried to like manually just put checkpoints in where like there weren't before to kind of fix that. And then the last final fan bug is actually fixed. And then additionally, I think this version actually has all of the levels unlocked.
Yeah.
All the levels, as in like, in addition to the ones that you're continuing to work on.
No,
just all the jam
so
levels.
you don't have to play from the mansion again.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I
might.
Google Drive can't scan for viruses. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it has that. There's a button that we had in the game. That
Well, I added it later.
Oh, okay. See, I think we should add that in the final release. While you're here, you should go to the main menu, and put your game in minimized, and just move your cursor outside of the screen to the top left. Just
Outside of the screen to the top left.
Yeah, like once you have to go to the main menu.
Main menu.
Yeah, quit to menu, and then just like like all the way outside of the game. Just keep moving.
Oh no! Nice. Perfect.
Courtesy of Carson.
Thank you, Carson.
Beautiful.
I was going to mention on your stream, nobody can actually see the gameplay.
Yeah. I just like cut my display capture so that nobody would see my email.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be useful since you're doing an Easter egg.
Okay, I don't know if
Sorry. I did forget to do it for that, so let me go and demonstrate for the chat. So yeah, we can drag all the way off here. You found me. I love this shit.
Yeah, I don't think the actual version has all of the levels unlocked by default.
Okay.
Actually, wait, how many levels? Let me just double check something. Yeah, no, because we have
If
6
not,
levels.
actually, I can assist you in editing your save data to unlock it.
Really?
I mean, if we want to go to that extent, I mean,
I think if it has the save data.
I mean,
I
I
think
could just style my way there. Hello, I need more caffeine. If you're just joining us, we're with the Unduster developers. Another one of the Big Mode Game Jam games. So, hold on. Actually, I'm not in QWERTY mode. Sorry, I'm not using a QWERTY keyboard. Okay, right. So we have this. I'm gonna not linger, and I'm not gonna. I guess I won't take my time.
Oh, all right. Oh, do you want to share it on Discord for us too?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
let
worries.
me go ahead and do that. Thank you for reminding me. It's the thing that I keep forgetting to do. Every single stream, I'm just like, I know I'm forgetting to do something. I know there's something I'm missing.
To manage, so no worries.
Okay. Yeah, when I started doing this, I was like, surely people who stream have a better way to do this. And as far as I've found, no.
It's like screens to manage all your screens.
Yeah. So where is my? That's my screen share. Where the fuck is my game? Unduster, Google Drive, GitHub. Oh, is this one of those things where I have to alt tab to it? Hold on. Sometimes Discord doesn't like.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, give me.
I don't know why Discord's like that. You can also just share your screen.
Okay, yeah. So let me just share my screen then. Fuck it. All right. Here we go. Back into QWERTY mode. Yep. Let's go. Hopefully my inputs will be more consistent.
What is it?
Ah,
Over?
shit.
Is it
Oh, it's over. The run's over.
Is everyone like able to be cleared in under a minute?
Well, that's with the momentum that
Yeah, that's the most recent version. I don't know what it's like now.
Oh, spring. All right. Sorry, you said that there was
Our game again.
Yeah, I mean, I've literally done this multiple times for other games. Last night I spent 5 hours actually on Bells Below. I played Aru's Rashford for like maybe 6 or 7 hours. One of the things that I like to do for these streams is specifically because other developers often don't get to see their game being played all the way through. So I wanted to provide that for them, I guess.
That's nice.
All right, so nice. Here we go. I can't use my vacuum.
Down.
You can?
Yeah.
That's so good to know, guys. I'm glad one of the makers of the game knew that.
I'm so happy that we as a team like all worked on this collaboratively. Like, we're getting here like figuring out like things that we didn't know. Like actually just watching down. Because I think this is the first time we've all sat down and like watched together.
Play it together.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm here for.
My friend in Vietnam actually called me randomly. Because I mean, I have one of my best friends is Vietnamese. And just it's my best friend's best friend, and so I met him when I went to Vietnam with my best friend.
Nice, Southeast Asian gang rise up.
Yeah. Anyway, and so he calls me out of the blue, or he like joins my server or something while I'm chilling, and he's like, "What are you up to?" And he makes games too. He makes music and does games and stuff.
Awesome.
And that's what he's going to. He's going to school for like pure CS though, and played the game. And I watched him play the entire game, and he was low-key kind of goated at the game, you know. And he was giving me really good like feedback and response, which was just like it was just fire. I mean, I don't know. It's just cool to think that like we've made a game in America that's been play tested by people in Vietnam.
Yeah. When I was in college, I made one of my first C++ like games in MS-DOS, and it was like this multi-hour dungeon crawler that I made in 2 weeks for my computer science class. And I wanted to like have it on a floppy disk, like within the actual limits of a floppy disk. And then I wanted to ship it to my friend in Australia to say that I had an international release.
That's really cool. I like that's a cool like kind of constraint to kind of have. That's something I really like about like kind of artificially and enforcing constraints when like for like design especially.
Yeah, working with some limitations is often very good for creativity.
Yeah, it's like one of my favorite things. And I always have a lot more fun working around kind of like stricter boundaries and kind of trying to push at them instead of like just being given free rein.
Ah shit, I forgot to hit the ground. Nice. Alright, we're good. Ah shit. I fucked up. Got sloppy. So, do you have a world record, I guess? Do you have a fastest time?
It's weird because I don't think I ever like remembered the fastest time I got on this.
Yeah, we don't have like an official.
Shit.
That is a part of the Steam version. Is we do actually have a built-in level timer, and then we have like a fastest time for like all the levels, and like, that's kind of another feature that we implement because like we kind of know that's like kind of our target audience with this game is like people who like precision platformers who like really intricate like kind of so adding that feature was definitely to cater the game a bit more to people who like to
Damn it.
Master a level.
Yeah, everything feels very like I could absolutely see speedruns with this, or rather, I'm already trying to do it. So part of this is just like me fucking up because I'm being hasty.
Yeah, I've seen that a bit with other people playing the game too, and it's really rewarding to see people like trying to get through it quickly. It shows that like we kind of understand. Like,
I forgot about this one.
Yeah, a bit about like who the game's being designed for this time.
Yeah. Oops. Alright. And we're here, and we're good.
Oh, there we go. Dude.
I gotta do it for the culture. Alright. Alright. Shit. I tried to wave dash there.
Yeah, the wave dash. I don't know, it's been going back and forth on making it easier and harder to actually do based on other physics stuff.
I definitely, as a person not play games like. Oh wow, nice clutch.
Thank you.
I would not play games like this. I'm a first-person shooter player, first and foremost, ever since I was a kid, and I'm a big League of Legends nerd.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I never, I never played precision platformers really. I mean, I played like Body's games because I'm a fan of like his work. I think it's really funny to, but I haven't beaten Q-Op or something. I haven't run the 100 dash. You know what I mean?
Right. Shoot.
So I'm not really skilled, and it's just really interesting watching Oliver do some crazy shit. And then being like, yeah, here, this is what you do. And then I'm like, yeah, sure. And then like 5 minutes later, I do it kind of halfway. And yeah, I don't know. It's
my favorite, probably one of my favorite moments playtesting is I had some people over. I had a copy of the game, and these particular friends are people who play competitive and other online games. And I had them sit down and play the game, and I was like, I just mentioned offhand, I was like, oh yeah, so like there's like wave dashing in the game, and like 5 minutes later, they're trying to like get through everything as like quickly as possible, and it was like it was really fun to see them kind of messing around with like that movement tech a bit.
Yeah, more movement tech is always cool. One of the like top things that people mention as being like thing that they regretted not putting in the game for platforms in specific was typically more movement options.
Backwards.
Yes, I don't know if you can go that way.
Damn it!
Good luck. Oh, that was close.
Yeah.
You have to go through that door, right?
Don't forget to activate that fan.
Wait, what do you mean?
Oh, well, alright, it's okay.
What just happened?
You know what? I'm watching.
Scenic route. Okay.
Yeah, the double scenic route.
100%.
Yes, exactly. Completionism.
Oh, no.
You gotta activate that fan.
Wait, which fan? Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. Every time you die, the fan's reset.
Lance is about to redesign his whole level.
Okay, here we are.
Okay, you got it now? You got this. Easy.
Alright,
Simple.
easy peasy.
I do think there could be some things to kind of reinforce.
There we go.
Get out of my head. I feel like there could have been some things to like reinforce that, like the fans, like the doors reset every single time you go.
Yeah.
Well, or just have them not. That'd be another idea. I think dirt and doors not resetting or resetting is like so trivial.
We're almost there.
For a lot of the levels, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Ah, shit.
Like respawn player.
Yeah, well, for like the doors resetting.
We could also talk about where we're taking the game after the jam, because we're thinking we're gonna add some more mechanics.
We have added some mechanics.
And try to like make some more levels. Obviously,
I think we have like quadruple content already.
I don't know about
Quadruple it.
I don't know if that's interesting or what we're talking about.
Well, no. So yeah, that was one of the questions that I wanted to ask. Like, how far do you plan on taking the game after the jam?
I think we're not totally sure like how much content, but
$5 on Steam.
$5 on Steam.
Wish list Unduster on Steam right now. If the Steam page is up, if we get it to 100 wish lists,
Damn it.
we'll add Granny beatboxing.
Yes.
And we'll also put your name in the credits. So there you go.
If you want to plug your Steam wish list in the chat again.
Dude, see, I knew we should. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Put it in the chat. You said.
Yeah, all of us are very indie-minded people, so obviously it doesn't cost anything to wishlist it, at the very least.
I think just like showing the game in class, I've already gotten it. Like, I think we have like 10 wishes now, maybe like 20.
It was like 16 last I checked. Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
Do you have other? Do you already?
Oh, nice. I already wishlisted. Oh, easy, bro.
Nice. Do you have like? Do you have classmates that are fans of Donkey? Have you talked with people in your daily life about the game jam and like the context that you entered it under?
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't know about.
I've been flaunting it. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm gonna game jam, dude, guys.
That was a big part. I definitely at the very earliest part, before the tournament, I think we had quite a few people play test, like kind of just the earliest stages of the backing ability. But I know, especially now that term started back up again, I think that's like fun. Just try out the kind of like get there really put on it. A lot of design-minded people kind of getting their input really valuable.
It's been tricky for me, like knowing like who to ask and like if it's real or not, because it is like a product, or it is potentially going to become like a good product. So I don't know. I'm like worried that I'm weird.
Let's kind of answer like kind of where like we want to ideally take it in the future. I think very end product, like ideally if we all everything kind of worked out for us. We definitely want to have something that's about like.
There's also a master volume slider. It's slightly off screen.
Oh, okay. Well, I kind of got it.
Yeah, I think something that's like 3 to 4 hours of content is like kind of what we talked about a little, or is like kind of like ideal, like fully finished game like in the future kind of.
Yeah.
Is like
You kind of have to get past the 2-hour thing.
yeah, definitely something that I want to be worth the like the $5 price tag. That like I don't want people to feel like they're not getting their money's worth or anything. So I definitely like that's kind of what we've been basing it around, is just like we know that like a $5 is probably like around the price point they were looking for, so we wanted to build out the amount of content to kind of meet that.
Well, also because it's $100 to put a game on Steam.
Yeah.
Each of us are paying $20. $100 is what is it? 20 people buy the game.
Mhm.
That's
Well,
not
I mean,
even
you know, before all the other expenses.
right now. Yeah.
We're not really doing it for the money.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right.
right.
We're not doing it for the money. We're doing it to like kind of put out a product that people would like to play. You know.
And being able to say you ship something.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a resume piece right there.
It's a really good for having like a portfolio, and also just going through the process of like
That's what I
actually
mean to say, portfolio, not resume.
putting something on Steam has been kind of like a bit of a learning experience for all of us, and for just like going through all of that, or like just getting something set up on Steam, and like working with that back end stuff has been a really valuable learning process. So it's like just going through all of that is really cool for us.
Oh yeah. Part of the coolness of like game jams is, you know, stop thinking about it, just make it, right?
Yeah.
And then finally you have something, and then you know you got to do something with it.
Yeah, you don't have time for creative block. Which
Yeah,
is really
exactly.
Nice.
When you have infinite time and no direction, you often get way less done than you should.
Yeah, that pretty much is exactly what we've experienced after the game jam. I mean,
If you blow immediately after jumping,
No. I was actually going to ask. So Twinkling Blimp, or no, not Twinkling Blimp. Cyberwitch, and I wanted to know what was up these rings here.
was those rings there?
Oh,
Yeah.
We can ask a question about that.
we were just pointing that out the first time you were playing the level. We were like, "What's this?"
Well, I've noticed it.
What happens when you try and rush a level out
Oh
of the
gosh.
last minute? You forget.
Oh my gosh! I was like, Carson, your mic's exploding, Carson. He said that's what happens when you try to rush a level out. That's what Carson said.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we really gotta appreciate Carson. Carson,
Thank you. We love you, Carson. Not that
Is
mic.
the
No.
mic really that broken?
Oh no,
Yes.
the mic.
It's
yeah, it's
pretty
crunchy.
fun.
Real crunchy. Actually, I want to say, like, have any of you played like Bloodborne?
oh, man, I played it
This
for
game
like 10
is
minutes.
like
one time.
Bloodborne.
No. Well, I was gonna say don't feel too bad, because there's a section in Bloodborne which is like Bloodborne is like peak video game, right? Like it's way up there.
Yeah.
There's a place in Old Yarnum where if you look up into the sky, there's like 5 statues on top of each other just floating in the middle of fuck all nowhere. And
I
that was
love-
just a total developer oversight, and it's completely visible for all to see. So don't feel too bad.
Maybe we should add that too.
That's like
Yeah, can we have the 5 Jeff Bezos statues that just like
Oh, no.
in the level stacked?
Maybe that's the only reason people like Bloodborne.
Yes, the statues.
be at the same level.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But no, yeah, I love.
Get good like him.
I don't know. I kind of love like, especially in like really big games like that. I kind of like seeing small innocent errors.
Yeah,
Kinda like that.
exactly.
It's kind of humbling, and it kind of shows that it's like oh, we're like
Humans made this.
yeah,
Exactly.
humans this
Humans was here.
like
Right.
we all kind of came from a bit of the same point. Like we're all kind of like it's just cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Music stopped right there. That was perfect.
that was
Yeah.
perfect. Yes.
So that's the end then.
How did you feel about on the
Yeah.
to me? Yeah.
First person to beat the jam game.
You're the
sort of.
first. You are the first person to beat the game.
You're the first person to beat the game outside of the game jam. So,
Great job. We're
or
proud of
I
you
guess
for doing this far.
outside of our team immediately. Like I don't think I've had anybody else beat the game. So
Yeah. Congratulations. World
Nice.
record.
Hell yeah.
Well,
yeah. I think another thing that I would say for things that like I wish we could have done is definitely like kind of like a victory screen or something at the end.
yeah.
To kind of, but I guess for the game jam it doesn't matter a whole lot because like nobody would actually see it.
Right.
Yeah.
Something.
At least you didn't
would've
use the labor for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. That was awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Man. Definitely a very talented team. I already gave at least Carlson a follow, but I'll be following the rest of you, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the whole itch experience of the voting period getting extended and everything. Yeah, tomorrow Duncan's gonna be streaming the games. Very much hope that hopefully I'll have a good shot at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you. Good luck to your team as well, or your game as well.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll be rating and commenting yours as soon as possible because the deadline is tomorrow. So you don't have to rate and comment mine. You don't have to do that. But obviously it would be appreciated. Comments even more so.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Unfortunately, my roommate has to go to bed, and
No,
because of how I've
We're still at school and it's 9 p.m. So.
Yeah, I gotta go home and like make myself dinner and like I got so much. So it's like kind of good stopping point. But it was,
Thank you for having us on.
Yeah, it was really
Oh,
cool
yeah,
to talk about our game. It's been a lot of fun for us to work on it, and I think it was also a lot of fun for us to sit down and
Watch you play.
yeah, well, do this entire experience. It was cool.
Yeah, exactly. I love giving people a space to talk about the things that all of us had a very dramatic development cycle for. So we all have a lot of things to say about it, and it's super cool hearing other people talk about it.